G'day, fellow travelers. Today, we're venturing into Vatican City, a country and a city, the world's smallest state, nestled inside Rome. Don't be fooled by its size. This place is bursting with history, art, and secrets. Most know it for St. Peter's Basilica and the Pope, but we're going deeper, into its gardens, hidden corners, and tranquil spaces. Step through the gates, and you're in a new world. The chaos of Rome fades, replaced by the hush of fountains and the chime of distant bells. The ancient leonine walls wrap around you, holding centuries of stories and creating a sanctuary of calm. Today, we're not racing from one masterpiece to another. We're slowing down, wandering like locals, and discovering the soul of this remarkable place. Notice the lush greenery spilling over the walls, the intricate cobblestone courtyards, and the whisper of wind through ancient pines. Vatican City reveals itself in layers, grand statements and quiet secrets, faith and beauty all in one. This is our virtual escape, a living, breathing landscape where nature and human genius meet. So grab a cuppa and settle in. Let's begin our stroll. Look beyond the dome, see the gardens, the patterns, the hidden life. This is the Vatican we're here to explore. Let's uncover its wonders together. When you think of the Vatican, you picture art, Michelangelo's ceiling, statues of saints. But the landscape here is a masterpiece too, painted with cypress trees, rose gardens, and manicured lawns. Nearly half of Vatican City is devoted to gardens, a deliberate choice for peace and reflection. These gardens aren't just pretty. They're woven into the Vatican's story, a private retreat for popes for centuries. Imagine walking paths where pontiffs prayed and made history, each fountain and plant holding meaning. There's even a patch of Australian bush, a little piece of home in Rome. As we tour, we'll see how architecture and nature blend, domes framed by pines, courtyards alive with light and shadow. The true wonder here is balance, stone, faith, and foliage in harmony. The Vatican is a symphony of human achievement and natural beauty. Let's look closer and discover its living art. This is more than a museum. It's a masterpiece in motion. This is your invitation to wander Vatican City beyond the crowds. While millions flock to St. Peter's Square, we'll explore the quiet, magical spaces few ever see. We'll uncover the secrets of the Vatican gardens, from English groves to Italian flower beds, and discover why a simple grotto is a papal favorite. Vatican City isn't frozen in time. It's alive, where Renaissance meets modern and history breathes in every courtyard. We'll notice the small wonders, green parrots flitting through trees, forgotten plaques, and golden light on ancient fountains. These details make the Vatican personal and real. Consider this your backstage pass. No crowds, just pure exploration. Whether you love history, gardens, or just a good story, there's something here for you. The gates are open, the adventure begins. Let's step inside and see what marvels await. The journey is just beginning. Let's leave the public squares and enter the Vatican's private paradise, the gardens. Imagine ornate gates opening to a world of green, cool air, fragrant earth, and ancient pines. This isn't just a park, it's a sanctuary crafted over centuries for Pope's contemplation. The gardens are a patchwork of styles, Italian symmetry, English woodlands, French elegance, all woven together. Over half of Vatican City is dedicated to these gardens, a testament to the value of peace and reflection. Established in the 13th century, they began as a private retreat for Pope Nicholas III. Now they're a maze of paths, hidden staircases, and breathtaking views. Climb a slope and see St. Peter's Dome framed by pines, or stumble upon a mossy fountain whispering old stories. The gardens invite exploration and reward curiosity. Every turn offers a new blend of art, architecture, and nature. This is the Vatican's green heart, a place of wonder and serenity. Let's wander deeper and see what secrets we find. The magic is in the journey. The Vatican gardens are a world in miniature, with plants and monuments gifted from every continent. Oaks from Germany, cherry blossoms from Japan, magnolias from the US, all growing side by side. There's even a patch of Australian garden complete with eucalyptus and bottlebrush, a living gift to the Pope. It's a reminder that the Vatican's roots reach worldwide, uniting cultures through nature. Monuments and shrines reflect this global spirit. Santa Thérèse of Lisieux surrounded by roses, Our Lady of Guadalupe adorned with mosaics. Each gift is an expression of faith and connection. Walking here is a pilgrimage around the world, seeing devotion in every plant and statue. The gardeners are world-class, nurturing plants from every climate, a daily miracle. This botanical mosaic makes the gardens unique and globally significant. Here, faith and nature unite across borders. The world's diversity blooms in the Vatican's embrace. Water is the garden's lifeblood and soundtrack. Fountains splash and trickle everywhere. The Fontana dell'Aquilone, a Baroque marvel, cascades with power and artistry, a symbol of papal grandeur. In contrast, hidden grottos offer quiet reflection, like the Grotto of Lourdes, a beloved papal retreat for prayer. These sacred corners define the gardens, not just beauty, but places of worship and contemplation. Small chapels and outdoor altars nestle among the trees, like the humble San Giovanni in Giardino. Here, the Vatican's spiritual purpose comes alive, a private retreat for connecting with the divine. The gardens balance magnificence and intimacy. Grand fountains inspire awe, while grottos invite personal devotion. This duality reflects the Vatican's complex role: public spectacle and private sanctuary. Exploring these spaces, you feel the living spirit of the place. The gardens are more than a park. They're a landscape of faith, history, and wonder. Every corner tells a story. Let's listen as we wander. Walking through the Vatican gardens is like leafing through a living history book, where every tree and stone tells a story. Some of the olive trees here are ancient, their gnarled trunks twisted by centuries. You can find remnants of the original Leonine Wall, built to protect the Vatican. The Vatican heliport allows the Pope to travel more easily. You might pass the Casina Pio IV, a beautiful Renaissance villa, or you might see the Vatican radio antenna, broadcasting messages of faith. The gardens are not a static museum. They are a dynamic landscape where history, faith, science, and nature intersect. Let's step into the most famous public space in the Vatican. We're entering St. Peter's Square, or Piazza San Pietro, designed by Bernini in the 17th century to accommodate huge crowds. He created a massive elliptical piazza, defined by two sweeping semicircular colonnades. Bernini described them as the maternal arms of the church. On top stand 140 statues of saints. In the center stands a towering ancient Egyptian obelisk brought to Rome by Emperor Caligula. Flanking the obelisk are two magnificent fountains. Bernini was a master of illusion and perspective. St. Peter's Square is full of clever tricks that play with your perception. As you walk among the columns, they seem like a dense forest. Bernini marked points where the columns perfectly align as a single row. Another design element is how the square prepares you for the Basilica using forced perspective. Bernini carefully controlled what you see, building anticipation as you approach. It's a landscape that guides and inspires. Beyond St. Peter's Square lies a network of courtyards, the working heart of the Vatican. The Cortile di San Damaso is the main entrance to the Apostolic Palace. Surrounded by arcades with frescoes, it welcomes official visitors. Here, the Swiss Guard adds vibrant color to the historic setting. The Cortile della Pigna features a colossal bronze pine cone. A modern golden sphere sculpture reflects the ancient courtyard and St. Peter's Dome, creating a dialogue between eras. To truly understand the unique landscape of Vatican City, you need to see it from above. Climbing to the top of Michelangelo's dome on St. Peter's Basilica is, honestly, an unforgettable experience. After a challenging ascent up a narrow, winding staircase that follows the curve of the dome itself, you emerge onto the outdoor viewing gallery. From here, the whole of Vatican City is laid out beneath you like a map. It's only from this vantage point that you can fully appreciate the design of the place, seeing how all the different elements we've explored fit together into a cohesive whole. Looking down, Bernini's grand vision for St. Peter's Square becomes crystal clear. You can see the perfect shape of the elliptical colonnades embracing the piazza, with the ancient obelisk marking its exact center. The surrounding buildings of Rome press in on all sides, highlighting just how small Vatican City is, and well, how amazing it is that so much is packed into this tiny space. From up here, the city-state looks like a walled oasis, a a sanctuary of order and greenery in the middle of the sprawling, chaotic beauty of Rome. It's a view that takes your breath away and gives you a new respect for the master planners who created it. From this bird's-eye perspective, the Vatican gardens reveal their true extent. You can see the different sections: the formal Italian garden, the English woodland, the neat rows of the vegetable patch that supplies the Pope's kitchen. You can trace the path of the ancient Leonine wall as it snakes around the perimeter. You can spot the unassuming rooftops of the Vatican's administrative buildings, the railway station, the post office, and even the governor's palace. It transforms from a collection of individual sites into a single, intricate, living organism. It's a complete, self-contained world. This high perch also offers one of the best panoramic views of Rome itself. The Tiber River winds its way through the city, and you can pick out famous landmarks like the Pantheon, the Castel Sant'Angelo, and the distant Colosseum. It's a powerful reminder of the Vatican's deep and inseparable connection to the Eternal City. For centuries, this view has been a symbol of the Church's position, looking out over the city and, by extension, the world. It's a landscape of immense power, history, and beauty, a fitting climax to our exploration of the Vatican's cityscape. The cityscape of the Vatican is not just made of grand monuments and historic courtyards, it's also a living, working town. Within the walls, there is a whole community of people who call this tiny state home. There are streets, apartments, a supermarket, a post office, and even a fire brigade. While not accessible to the public, knowing these places exist adds another fascinating layer to our understanding of the Vatican's landscape. It's not a museum piece, it's a functioning micronation with its own unique daily rhythms and routines, all happening in the shadow of some of the world's most famous landmarks. Imagine living in an apartment where your window looks out onto the Apostolic Palace or the Vatican Gardens. Imagine your local supermarket, the Annona, is where cardinals and Swiss guards buy their groceries. This is the reality for the few hundred lay people and clergy who have Vatican citizenship. Their neighborhood includes the world's most famous church and priceless art collections. The streets they walk are steeped in 2 millennia of history. This blend of the sacred and the mundane is what makes the Vatican's cityscape so utterly unique. It's a place where extraordinary history is the backdrop for ordinary life. The infrastructure that supports this community is discreetly woven into the historic fabric of the state. The Vatican has its own railway station, a beautiful but rarely used building connected to the Italian rail network. It has its own pharmacy, the Farmacia Vaticana, which is famous for being one of the best stocked in the world and is open to the public with a prescription. There is even a Vatican television center and a newspaper, L'Osservatore Romano, broadcasting and writing from within the walls. These functional elements are a crucial part of the landscape, demonstrating the Vatican's independence and self-sufficiency. This fusion of a spiritual headquarters, a historical treasure trove, and a living town creates a cityscape unlike any other. It's a place of profound contrasts. You have the silent contemplation of the gardens next to the bustling offices of the Holy See. You have the sublime beauty of Michelangelo's art just meters away from a staff canteen. It is this very complexity that makes the Vatican so endlessly fascinating. It is a landscape that operates on multiple levels simultaneously, as a destination for pilgrims, a workplace for thousands, and a home for a few. It's a world in miniature, complete and compelling. From the square, we move to St. Peter's Basilica. It is the largest and most famous church in the world. It stands where St. Peter, the first pope, is believed to have been buried. The building is a masterpiece of Renaissance and Baroque architecture by Bramante, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Bernini. As you stand before the facade, you grasp its size. It is topped with statues of Jesus and the apostles. The building replaced an earlier basilica built by Emperor Constantine. The defining feature is its dome, designed by Michelangelo. Visible from almost every corner of Rome, it's a symbol of heaven. Stepping inside St. Peter's Basilica is a moment that stays with you. The sheer volume of the space is almost impossible to process. It's a breathtaking landscape of soaring arches, colossal statues, and intricate mosaics. One of the first masterpieces you encounter is Michelangelo's Pietà, now protected behind bulletproof glass. It is a sculpture of heartbreaking beauty, depicting Mary holding the body of Christ. Your eyes are drawn upwards to the main altar, or the baldacchino, designed by Bernini. This gigantic bronze canopy stands directly over the tomb of St. Peter. Looking up from the baldacchino, you see the interior of Michelangelo's dome. The interior of St. Peter's is a carefully constructed theological argument in stone, marble, and mosaic. Leaving the Basilica, we enter the Sistine Chapel, synonymous with artistic genius. Architecturally simple, its importance lies in the masterpieces covering every inch. The ceiling, painted by Michelangelo, depicts Genesis. At its center, the creation of Adam. Decades later, Michelangelo painted the Last Judgement on the altar wall. Standing here, you are caught between creation and judgment. It's one of the most significant and awe-inspiring rooms on the planet. The journey to the Sistine Chapel takes you through the Vatican museums, a wonder in its own right. This vast complex of galleries, courtyards, and palaces contains one of the world's most important art collections, built up by popes over centuries. One highlight is the Gallery of Maps, a dazzling corridor lined with historical maps. Another is the Raphael rooms, with frescoes covering every wall and ceiling. Navigating the museums is an architectural journey, a landscape continuously added to over centuries. It's a place where the container is just as much of a treasure as the collections it holds. Beyond the titans of St. Peter's and the Sistine Chapel, the Vatican is filled with lesser-known architectural wonders that are often overlooked by the crowds. These hidden gems offer a more intimate and often more surprising glimpse into the Vatican's rich history. One such place is the Nicolline Chapel, a small private chapel decorated by Fra Angelico. Its walls are covered in vibrant, jewel-like frescoes depicting the lives of St. Stephen and St. Lawrence. The colors are just so brilliant and the details so delicate that it feels like stepping inside an illuminated manuscript. It's a space of quiet, joyful devotion, a world away from the thundering drama of Michelangelo. Another remarkable space is the Borgia Apartments. These were the private rooms of the infamous Pope Alexander VI. He had them lavishly decorated by Pinturicchio, with frescoes mixing Christian stories and pagan mythology, reflecting the complex nature of the Renaissance papacy. The rooms are filled with rich colors, intricate patterns, and heavy gold leaf. They offer a glimpse into a very different era, a time of immense wealth and political intrigue. Hidden beneath St. Peter's Basilica lies another world, the Vatican Necropolis. This is an ancient Roman burial ground excavated in the mid-20th century. Here you can walk along a preserved Roman street, lined with pagan and early Christian mausoleums, located directly beneath the main altar. The tour culminates at a simple shrine believed to mark St. Peter's original burial spot. To visit this place is to travel back in time, to connect with the very origins of the Vatican. It is a raw, powerful, and deeply moving experience. Finally, even the Swiss Guards have their own architectural story. Their barracks and nearby church are tucked away in a quiet corner, just inside St. Anne's Gate. The church is a simple but beautiful space for the guards and their families. Discovering these places away from the main tourist trail provides a more complete picture of the Vatican. It shows this tiny state is not just world-famous monuments, but a complex, layered landscape of grand public stages and quiet sanctuaries, each with its own unique story to tell. The Swiss Guard, a colorful sight in Vatican City, may look like they've stepped out of a Renaissance festival, but don't be fooled. They are a highly trained, elite military force and the oldest active army in the world. For over 500 years, their sole mission has been to protect the Pope. Back in the 1500s, Swiss mercenaries were famous for their bravery. In 1527, during the sack of Rome, they proved their worth. 147 Swiss guards gave their lives on the steps of St. Peter's Basilica to allow the Pope to escape. This cemented their role as the Pope's protectors. They are a living reminder that the Vatican is a sovereign state with a head of state who requires protection. Vatican City holds secrets in plain sight. One is the Passetto di Borgo, a papal escape route. It connects the Vatican to Castel Sant'Angelo. Another surprise, bright green parrots. Escapees from the pet trade, they've colonized the Holy See. These moments of wonder bring the Vatican to life. Even here, there's room for surprise. Some of the coolest surprises in Vatican City are in its everyday stuff, which they do in their own special way. Like the Vatican Post Office, for example. The Vatican post office is super famous among stamp collectors for being one of the best and fastest mail services anywhere. Sending a postcard from the Vatican is something lots of visitors just have to do. Why? Because a letter sent from one of the bright yellow mailboxes inside the city will get a Vatican stamp and postmark. It's a special souvenir that goes all over the world. For such a tiny place, it has a huge reputation for mail, handling millions of pieces every year. Then there's the Vatican train. Yep, the world's smallest country has its own train station and the shortest national train track in the world, only about 300 meters long. The pretty station with its fancy marble and stone opened in 1933, but popes haven't used it much. Pope John XXIII was the first to use it, and Pope Francis has started using it again, letting people ride special tourist trains from the Vatican out to the Pope's summer home at Castel Gandolfo. Seeing a modern train inside the old Leonine walls is another one of those amazing, surprising sights that make the Vatican special. Maybe the most wonderfully nerdy and surprising thing of all is at the Vatican Bank's ATM. If you bank there, you can do your banking in different languages, just like any other cash machine. But the Vatican ATM is supposedly the only one on Earth that lets you pick Latin as a language option. Imagine it asking you in Latin, "Please insert your card to see your account activity." It's a clever, almost funny nod to the Church's official language, mixing old traditions with new tech in the most unexpected way. These details, a world-famous post office, a tiny private train, and an ATM that speaks Latin, are more than just weird facts. They are amazing moments that show what Vatican City is really like. They show how this old place still works as a modern separate country, all while keeping its special history. It's a place where holy things and everyday things, old and new, live side by side. These surprising facts make the Vatican feel less like a far-off, untouchable monument and more like a real, interesting and totally unique place, full of quiet wonders waiting to be found around every corner. Our virtual stroll through Vatican City is coming to an end. We've wandered through gardens and stood in St. Peter's Square, feeling the weight of centuries. We've craned our necks at Michelangelo's heavenly ceiling. This tiny nation is a masterfully crafted landscape, designed to evoke wonder and deep peace. We can appreciate its timeless appeal, noticing the small things. This virtual escape allows us to connect with the spirit of the place. The Vatican's landscape is a testament to the highest aspirations of humanity. As we finish, we take away a sense of profound awe. The Vatican is a treasure for all of humanity, a place that continues to inspire millions. Its landscapes have a way of leaving a lasting impression on your soul. Our journey might be over, but this is just the beginning of your own adventure with Vatican City. We've seen the highlights, the gardens, the squares, and the grand halls. But the true magic of the Vatican is that there is always more to discover. Every corner holds a secret, a piece of art, or a slice of history waiting to be uncovered. I hope this virtual escape has sparked your curiosity. The invitation is to keep wandering, to keep asking questions, and to keep feeding that sense of awe we've shared. It's about broadening our horizons and connecting with the grand story of humanity. Thank you for coming along on this trip with me. Keep exploring, mates. The adventure never truly has to end.